Well, I was a public school teacher for 10 years and a fishing guide for 30. I was disconnected to reality, and when I went vegan, I started incorporating kindness in my lessons. I felt obligated as a teacher, knowing what I know about the health concerns with meat and dairy, and I didn't want my children to grow up, with set up to fail. To stumble, so to say. And so when you look at the vegan diet and they can live 10 to 12 years longer, and you look at the truth behind milk, these things are important for children to know. It's information they want to know because it helps them be compassionate. And so I found my sixth graders were going down after school to the river, and they were driving knives right through the center of frogs' bodies and as entertainment. And they would laugh about it and joke about it, and then on the way home they would crush beetles and have competitions to see who can kill the most. So as a teacher, it wasn't just health concerns, it was also ideas of compassion and mercy and reality. And so I developed an art lesson to get that specific class to care, that sixth grade class. And I went out and got some Peeps, and they weren't the little cheap yellow and pink Peeps, but they were actually very animated. They had facial figure expressions, and they had clothing, and they were different colors. And so the children were connected to their Peeps, and they were bringing them to their classes, and they'd set them on their desk. And the whole school was jealous, and they wanted to participate in the lesson. So some 400 people all had their own Peeps, including the principal and the teachers. They all participated. They all had Peeps on their desk. And they were instructed to take care of the Peep for 3 days, not eat their Peep, even though it's candy and it tastes good and it looks like an animal, and then return the Peep to me, and I would give them a new assignment. And I would use their Peeps as a way to help animals in some way. I didn't give them exactly what I was doing. So they all returned their Peeps after the 3 days, and it was hard for some of them to give them up because they were so attached. But they did, and late that night I stayed up. I didn't go home, and I made an art display in the school near the school cafeteria, in between the principal's office and the cafeteria. Nice place for it. It was a display that shows what we do to animals using the Peeps, and so I took their heads off and I mounted them on the wall like trophies. I had some in cages. I had Peeps as roadkill. I had Peep fur coat. A Barbie was wearing a Peep coat. And then I had some in pots and pans and between pieces of bread. And that's really what flipped out the adults, the teachers and the principal. The kids loved the lessons. Many of them went vegan, and they're still going vegan today, thinking about things. And when I started this whole business, no one in Fox River Grove knew what a vegan was. Now everyone in the town knows what a vegan is, and a lot of them became vegan, and it rippled throughout the world. But the teachers and the principal, they filed a petition for me to remove any references of food from the Peep Show, which is ridiculous because Peeps are food, and as an artist I didn't realize that people would be so offended, and I wanted to keep my job, so I just said I'll take the whole show down instead of just the ones in the pots and the pans. That was what really offended them. And so I took the show down. I was told to do no more work with animals in my lessons, and or else I'm out of a job. And I was making 70 grand a year, and I didn't want to lose my job. And you do as you're told as a teacher. You compromise yourself every day, trying to keep people happy, whether it's the teachers or the administration or the parents or the students. Rarely does a teacher get to do anything they really want to do. And so I stopped doing it, and it was just before summer break. And being away from school, I had time to think about things and realize that I couldn't look myself in the mirror being silent about it. Because to me, silence is complicity, just as tolerance is. And so new school year started, and I get assigned lunch duty. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade all come in, and these are students since I've had since first grade. They're my friends, they're not just my students. And I have to be silent and watch them eat meat and drink milk for 3 hours every day as part of my job. And I would sit in the bleachers and looking across the cafeteria while they're eating are milk mustache posters hanging on the wall telling them that they're going to be an athlete or a movie star, that they're going to have strong bones, that they're going to get all the protein they need, vitamin D, and all the wonders of milk. And they're all lies. And I remember how they made me take my art show down, but yet those milk mustache posters hang year after year, and nothing is said. They're never taken down. And if you think about if Fritos or Pepsi, someone else had advertising in school, there would be outrage in the world. Yet the dairy industry advertises in every school in this country, and they've been doing so for as long as our parents were brainwashed into believing that milk was good for strong bones, and it makes your bones weak. Milk gives you cancer. There's a whole host of diseases. There's no reason to lie to children. And we all come from dysfunctional families, and we look to the school for normalcy, and we trust our schools, and they're like mini societies. And so people today are brainwashed because of what they learned in school. The food pyramid telling them that they need meat and that they have to drink milk as part of a balanced diet, and then they get brainwashed with the advertising from the dairy industry, the milk mustache posters, and then they're actually served those products. So as a teacher, I didn't want to do to them what they did to me. So I developed a lesson that was about advertising, hanging in our school. What could be more appropriate or timely? And you have to have concern for the students' real world if you want them to really be interested in something, show it how it pertains to them. So I developed an art lesson about the advertising and how it shapes the values and morals of society, how artists do that through time. And I gave them a chapter from Got BS, Food Revolution, called Got BS, and it's all about the milk mustache posters. And when I did that, that was my last day in school. They didn't want the children to know the truth about milk, and they started a campaign against me to smear my name in the press. They said I was indoctrinating the children, which is insane, because indoctrination means you only teach one side of something. They're the ones only teaching the meat side. I was showing a brief glimpse of the other side, and they outed me. So they're the ones indoctrinating, but they blame me of indoctrinating the children and then telling them to keep it a secret, which is absurd. I told the kids, I want you to tell your family, your friends, I'm not going to be here anymore. They're going to fire me for this, so it's going to be up to you to carry the message on. They're the ones keeping the secret. So all the things that they're doing that they feel bad about, it's almost like looking into a mirror they accuse me of.